All right, YouTube, what is going on? It is Zaya here from Zaya&TheSteelers back with another video. And in today's video, we are going to be once again discussing the Steelers quarterback position. But before we get into it, if you guys are Steelers fans or you enjoy NFL content in general, be sure to hit that subscribe button. We are pushing 500 subscribers. Thank you to all who have subscribed already. And thank you to the future subscribers. But anyway, the story that just keeps telling itself, what the hell are the Pittsburgh Steelers going to do at quarterback? So yesterday, a interview happened with our owner, Art Rooney II. And during that interview, he had this to say. Art Rooney II not closing the door on the Steelers trading for a QB. There's the quote in, the print right there. And I actually do have a video up here. Shout out to Steelers Depot for the quote picture, and then shout out to Blitzburg for the video. If you know, you know. Steelers Depot to Blitzburg. Like, is there beef? Yeah, if you know, you know. But anyway, I did want to play the video for you guys because it's also my first time seeing it, and so just kind of like a live reaction and like, maybe let's see what he said.
Fields or anyone else, how much interest would the Steelers
already too? The guy said whether it's a guy like Fields, like he's naming Fields on the thing, or he has Fields on the picture right there, and then telling Art Rooney about Fields, like that's spooky.
Whether it's a guy like Fields or anyone else, how much interest would the Steelers have in going outside the organization?
Shout out to CBS Sports,
by the way.
Would
you be willing to make a trade for a current quarterback if, the price was right in that kind of a situation?
Well, as we sit here in early February, we're not closing the door on anything. We have a lot of evaluations to go through, and we'll go through all the options and, do what we need to do to be better this coming season.
Whether it's
all right. Well, honestly, okay, that kind of says the same thing as the quote here, but that tone of it all, it seemed like he was asked a dumb question almost. Like, no offense to the interviewer, no offense to this guy from CBS. It's not like a dumb question, but he gave an answer like, maybe, yeah, we will trade for a quarterback if the price is right. He didn't necessarily say, yeah, we are trading for a quarterback. We are trying to address this. We are going to do this. But if someone's available, man, shoot us a call. That's pretty much what Art Rooney II is saying. And of course, the big, I guess, guy amongst Steelers fans is Justinfields. Really, I don't even necessarily think it's for his talent. No offense to Justinfields, and I've seen those mock jerseys. Like, Justinfields looks good in the Steelers jersey, I will admit. But I don't think it's more about just the situation. It's more about the sudden availability of Justin Fields that, maybe the Bears are going to draft Caleb Williams and Justin Fields is now available. But as far as like his actual play, he hasn't really played the greatest. He's definitely shown flashes. And I've talked about this a little bit ago. He's definitely shown flashes. But it's not like, set in stone. You trade for this guy, your quarterback position, like it is, secure. Because the Bears themselves, granted, they don't have the best team surrounding Justin Fields, but they've had Fields out there for about 2 seasons, and it hasn't been the greatest, right? It hasn't been the greatest. But, we're the Steelers. We're not the Bears. We're the Steelers. And I think if we were to get Justin Fields, I think it would work out. And honestly, amongst the I guess, options to trade for, amongst the, like, current players that, like, we could sign even, Justin Fields is pretty high on my, like, list of wants. Now, saying all that to say, like, I genuinely think we should kind of run it back with Kenny Pickett. He should at least get a chance in the new system, in the new, with Arthur Smith. Like, even Mason Rudolph got, I want to say, 3 to 4 games with the co-offensive coordinators because Kenny Pickett got hurt. Like, Mason even got like 4 games, and Kenny in the 1 game that he did, or 1.5 games, whatever you want to say, 1 1/4 games, like he looked like he was playing good. And it would be kind of shitty for him to lose the quarterback spot to injury, and then like we go out and we trade for a Justin Fields, or we trade for like a Russell Wilson or something like that. Because if we spend any significant assets on somebody, it's going to be a similar quarterback battle that we had this year with Kenny Pickett getting all the looks. Mitch Trubisky is now Kenny Pickett. Mitch Trubisky, who's like getting the default looks because, like, all right, we paid a lot of money for this guy, or all right, we spent a 1st-round pick on Kenny, so like he's default backup. And then our 3rd stringer, whoever that is, whether it's Mason, whether it's somebody else, they're gonna get just absolutely no looks at all, because it's like, all right, we traded assets for, let's say, Justin Fields, so like he has to play. And then we spent a 1st-round pick on Kenny, so like he has to be the backup, right? And that third quarterback is just gonna be whatever. And it's kind of similar to what happened this year. And if it works, it works. Like, we're just one of the few teams to where, we went through all the, like, we're one of the few teams to where our 3rd-string quarterback, like, played significantly, should I say significantly better than our first string. And maybe not even him himself, but the team itself looked significantly better with Mason in than it did with Kenny. And I think we're one of the few teams that where you take out the starting quarterback and you take out the backup, like two of them. Like we're counting Mitch in this too. We take out both of them. That third string quarterback Mason looks good. So I mean, there's that. Really, as I mentioned in the actual video itself, it didn't like seem like Art was like, yeah, like we are going to trade for somebody, like big trust guys. Like I got my phone on loud right now. If anyone's calling, I'm answering. It didn't seem like that. But he's keeping the door open. You can't be mad at him for keeping the door open. I think that's a great answer. It's the same thing. Like we ask about KennyPickett. Oh, we're keeping the door open. We ask about the Cam Hayward thing, his contract. Oh, we're keeping the door open. Oh, we ask about, blah, 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 blah. Oh, we're keeping the door open. We're a very keep the door open team. We are open to every option while at the same time doing absolutely nothing. This is we're getting rid of a bunch of coaches. Like we're getting a new offensive coordinator in Arthur Smith. We're getting new position coaches, I believe, as well. Mike Sullivan, our quarterbacks coach, I believe is, a free agent right now. I think we're going to get a new one. If I'm mistaken, let me know. I believe we're going to get a new OC coach. I believe we're going to get a new wide receivers coach. Like we're just in a complete change right now, which is kind of new. But if you take Steelers history into account, if you take this, this season into account, it's like a bunch of like, yeah, we're going to do this. We're going to do this. We're going to do this. And then we finish 9-8. Mike Tomlin has never had a losing season. It seems like those similar vibes, but they're saying all the right stuff in the offseason to me. They're saying all the stuff that we want to hear to me about with the changes that we have to make. And there was also another quote too. I don't have it up at this exact moment, but I kind of just thought of it now. Art Rooney was, I think it's maybe in the same interview. Art Rooney is like, I'm tired of this making the playoffs and not winning a game shit. Like something has to change, which once again, we talk about the right answers. Like to me, that is the right answer. Now, as far as like actually going about that, as far as making the changes necessary in order to get that playoff game, I'm not quite sure, man, because we're sitting here trying to figure out if we should start Kenny Pickett still. But hey, that's where we are. And I wanted to show this as well too. This NFL Rumors, probably not the greatest site, but they put words to paper for me to show you guys. And many front office people believe if Chicago Bears trade Justin Fields, the compensation will be a second-round pick. Oh boy, and it's crazy too because like I'm on the YouTube video and you guys are watching me. If you're still here to this video at this point, you guys are watching me to see if I feel good about trading a second-round pick for Justin Fields. Shitty answer, but I feel good about trading that second-round pick for Justin Fields if the options just aren't as splendid. We talked about maybe in the first round Jackson Powers-Johnson rising the center. There's going to be a ton of tackles probably by where we pick. There's going to be a ton of tackles. I would like to get, Jackson Powers-Johnson and a tackle as well, like in the same thing. Like I would like to get both of them if we could in round 1 and round 2. But with the way things are going, if we can't get if we can't get both of them, if we can only get one, and then we got to use that second round pick for something else. And the quarterbacks on the board, they're not really the greatest. And we called and Kenny Pickett's like, I'm chilling right now, and Mason's like deuces, and and Russell Wilson. Well, maybe we call Chicago, and it's like, hey man, you want this second round pick or not? It's cool too because Chicago, they traded us their second round pick for Chase Claypool. Man, wait, hold on, let me power scale real quick. Chase is worth a second, but Justin Fields is worth a second. Are they comparable? Are they the same piece? Justin Fields right now to me is played better and shown better than Chase at that point when we traded him. But of course, he's a quarterback too. Really, this isn't a discussion. I'm just kind of talking here, but that is interesting that, we're back allegedly dealing with Chicago if we want to get Justin Fields and, the Chase Claypool thing, which led to Joey Porter Jr. Very interesting. So, maybe we do it, man. Maybe we do it. A second-round pick seems very high, though, just on paper. I think a lot has to happen for us to be willing to part ways with that. And that's me, the fan. Me, the fan, like, and wanting stuff. But me, the fan of the Steelers and knowing the Steelers. Man, we're not trading no second-round pick for Justin Fields, bro. We're not doing that. We'll just draft somebody with a second-round pick if that's the case. We'll just draft Kenny Pickett again. We'll just draft, I don't know, like J.J. McCarthy or something. No offense to J.J. We'll see if he's good, but I don't see us, shelling out a second-round pick for Justin Fields. Not to, he's trash or whatever, but I think that's just a little high at this point. If it was like, I don't want to be crazy, but if it was like a third to fourth, if it was like multiple thirds, like 2 third-round picks, even that's a little high, but it's like, why not? If someone's going to get him, man, someone is going to get Justin Fields for whether it's a second or whatever trade it happens to be. If they trade him, someone's going to get him. And me personally, I hope it works out. Like I said, I've seen him in the Steelers jersey mock, and it looks good. He has fantastic plays. He has pretty good running plays. And I think as a passer, he's not necessarily the greatest, but, it is improving. And he runs good. He runs good enough to where it's like, all right, we can build this. We can work from this. To me, we can work from this. If he wasn't getting these rushing yards and you look the same as a passer, then duh, you got to move on for him. But there's a reason why it's man, do we give Justin Fields a chance? There's a reason for that. And hey, man, if the Steelers want to do it. I'm not necessarily the most mad at it. Once again, I keep bringing it up, but that jersey mock-up does look good for Justin Fields on the Steelers. But to me, a second-round pick is just a little too high. Also, too, I have this up here. I don't even know what this interaction is. Shout out to these guys, but he had a list of just free agent quarterbacks or veteran quarterbacks on Twitter. And the reason why I'm bringing this up is okay, if we're not going to trade for a Justin Fields, if we're not going to draft anybody even, which I think maybe even drafting someone is a better option than this, but everyone says we just need this veteran quarterback. Everyone says we just need this quarterback to, complete the passes for us. And so I got a list of names up of people, and starting off Kirk Cousins, we know his contract is going to be a little crazy, but he is a free agent, and maybe he comes around for a reasonable price. But I just think right now Kirk is at the point where he needs to go to a more super duper team. Kirk, if he's going to win, if he's going to have that championship run, I think he does need to go to a team that's a little more farther along than what we are at this current moment. And also take some less money. Really, I'm trying to draw him away, low-key. I vibe Kirk Cousins. I like Kirk Cousins. I'm a fake Vikings fan, but I just don't think it really makes sense right now. He's good, and he definitely is probably the best option on this. He definitely is the best option here, on this list here. And of the quarterbacks I named, Kenny, Mason, Justin Fields, I think Kirk is the best quarterback out of them. But I don't know. It just might be a little too late for Kirk. A little too, he's 35, 36. Maybe we give him the time, and after he's done, we draft a quarterback. But I don't know. Ryan Tannehill, we talked about. We got Arthur Smith. I think Kenny Pickett is Ryan Tannehill 2.0, so that would be potato. But hey, it's there, man. Jacoby Brissett is somebody I've seen talked about a lot, and to me, it's disrespectful that we're talking about Jacoby Brissett, bringing him in, and it's we got Kenny Pickett already. No offense to Jacoby Brissett, but it's really, he's going to be our starter now. We can't just have our first round pick who we drafted 2 years ago who had the worst offensive coordinator, and that offensive coordinator is responsible for other players playing bad, but when Kenny's playing bad, he's not responsible for that and the offensive line. Kenny can't get that chance, but we can give Jacoby Brissett that chance. To me, it's a little spooky. It's a little crazy, man. But hey, Jacoby Brissett, Tyrod Taylor. No? All right. Marcus Mariota. No? All right. Sam Darnold, man. No, let's not sleep on Sam Darnold, man. Maybe Sam Darnold can give it to us. That was a move 2-3 years ago that, maybe we were going to make it. He's bounced around teams and he's looked good. In San Francisco, allegedly, he looks good in that system. So if we can get a system that good, fuck it, man. Maybe Sam Darnold, we let him ride. Jameis Winston. Jameis Winston, to me, is an option to where it's maybe, man, maybe, he does good, but he definitely has the raw ability. He has the raw talent. But the decision making at times is spooky. We know the turnovers at times is spooky. But as far as the talent, Jameis Winston is almost like Mason Rudolph. And if I'm slandering here, let me know. But Jameis has had way better career than Mason in terms of player for player. But just the same kind of abilities, the same kind of traits that you get from Mason, you get from Jameis. Dude has a rocket of an arm, he has a cannon of an arm, but he's gonna. And Jameis is probably way worse than Mason, because he was the number one pick. He had the freedom to kind of do things. Jameis, he's thrown into triple coverage, bro. Jameis is giving the other team the ball if he has the chance to do so. So there's that. You take that. But on this list, when I don't think he's the worst option. I think Jameis, as of right now, is the second best option on here. We got Kirk, I guess, is the best option, but I just think he's a little too old, but he's definitely the best here. And then Jameis, number 2. And then we look down, Drew Lock. Fucking maybe, man. He had that one game in Seattle. Maybe he's, something. But Baker Mayfield might be the second best option. Now, Baker Mayfield might be the best option. Now, I know Steelers fans, we're not necessarily the highest on Baker. There are some Steelers fans that are, which is like a little treacherous to me, given the fact he beat us in the playoffs. But hey, man, fair play. Baker, he balled on Tampa Bay this year. And, that Cleveland year when they had a good team, when he was healthy, he was able to be a starting quarterback for them too. Maybe we give him a look. Really, Baker Mayfield, I'm seeing it now and I'm kind of thinking about it as I'm talking. Baker Mayfield isn't the worst option either, but it does seem a little redundant. It does seem like, because we're trying to get over the hump here. We're trying to get over the hump. And Baker Mayfield, he led Tampa to the playoffs and even won a playoff game. He's won 2 playoff games before we won one in 30 years. So he has that. But I just think we need a guy. Whenever we're talking about replacing Kenny Pickett, it's because we need a guy and we need generational talent at quarterback. And so when I see Baker Mayfield and I think about the Browns beating us in the playoffs, and I tried the bias is kicking in, man. Maybe we don't sign Baker Mayfield, but objectively, no bias or all bias aside, Baker is probably a pretty good option. And our defense, the defense too is I don't want to say the defense too is an asterisk as well. This is all dependent on the defense just being absolutely flying and us having a top 10 defense. If we can do that, then signing the Kirk at 35, 36 makes sense because, if we can just get there, if our defense can do it, then maybe we can compete. Baker Mayfield, same thing. If our defense can get there, if our defense can do it, maybe we can compete. Our defense has played well. I don't want to act like, they don't play well. But there are some times where we just get absolutely smacked or blown out by some good team. Or we need them to get a stop and they don't. I feel like that happens to the Steelers all the time. But if the defense is just, defense, and if Steel Curtain defense, maybe bringing in Baker Mayfield can lead to some success. Gardner Minshew, I don't think so, bruv. I don't think so. Teddy Bridgewater retired. Joe Flacco, I don't think so, bruv. And Tyler Huntley, I just do not think so, bruv. So really, on this list, I found 1.5, 2.5. I found 3.5 quarterbacks, out of this list that, kind of makes sense for us to draft, kind of we can do good with, or to draft to sign. And as far as actually trading for a quarterback, besides Justin Fields and besides Russ, which I didn't mention Russ, but Russ to me is my favorite option. I think if we're going to be replacing Kenny, I think Russ makes the most sense. I think he has the Kirk Cousins, maybe not recent success, in terms of stats, but he has the Kirk Cousins veterancy and playing good. Russ has played good before, that's happened. He has played good before and he has played good for an extended amount of time. And he's not the oldest, and he's not coming off a crazy injury. The only thing is his contract, which I think, given how the league has treated him, given how the talks have gone and how things have gone for Russ, I think he would be willing to come down off that number a little bit. And the 3 in the Steelers jersey looks good. Big Russell Wilson, I think Russell Wilson is a good option as well. But then after him, I think. After him, it's either Justin or Baker, bro, if we're replacing Kenny, to me. And then the real hidden gem, the real, cook, is that mid-round draft pick quarterback. And hear me out, guys, we're talking about this. Art Rooney is open to everything. Art Rooney II, are you open to sending 3 first-round picks to Chicago, not for Justin Fields, but for that number 1 pick? And we just take Caleb Williams, bro. Why not? Why not? Why can't we just do that? Why not trade up and get Jaden Daniels? If we're even thinking about getting a quarterback, we waited for Kenny at 20. We waited for Mason in the 4th round. We waited for Mitchell Trubisky to be a free agent. We waited for Ben to retire. We waited. You know what happened? Lamar got taken. Patrick Mahomes got taken. Josh Allen got taken. Justin Herbert got taken. Joe Burrow got taken. Tua got taken. Do I name Tua with those names? I don't know. Let me know. CJ Stroud got taken. Who else? If I'm forgetting a really good quarterback, let me know. But all these people got taken. And it's we're sitting here waiting, bro. We're sitting here hey, I hope they save some food for me. They're grubbing over. I hope, fuck that. Let's just trade. If we're going to do that, let's just get that 3rd round pick or third overall pick. Let's get that 2nd overall pick. Let's get that 1st overall pick. And, maybe we do that. That, to me, is an option as well. If you guys are sitting here debating Jacoby Brissett or Drew Lock to be the Steelers quarterback of the upcoming season, we can, you know, at least think about trading up to get one of these quarterbacks, right? And of course, trading up that high would probably nuke us low key, because like we trade all those assets and we still need a center, we still need, you know, maybe another corner, we still need maybe another tackle, we still need a new punter. Like, you know, the assets we would have to give up would not be splendid. And in this draft, it's a good, pretty good tackle draft, pretty good center draft. And so once again, I don't think we're going to do it. But you know, if the option's open, we're open to all options, Rooney. That's what you said, not me. I didn't say that. You said that. So, you know, man, maybe we trade up for that high round pick. Let me know in the description or in the comments down below. But anyways, I think that is going to do it for me for this video. If you guys enjoyed, be sure to hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, ring the bell. Let me know what you guys think the best option is for the Steelers at the quarterback position. But anyways, this has been Zaya from Zaya and the Steelers, and I will see you in the next video. Peace out.